When we think about sales compensation in our team, we like to think of a multi-pronged approach. The information is coming from multiple sources, and you really need to be looking at various items to get the full picture. Two areas where we like to focus on and really keep track of on a fairly regular basis, which really requires partnerships for us, especially at the global level, is finance and then sales ops. So how are you tracking from a perspective of orders, of revenue, of cash flow? Are you there where you want it to be at the given time frame of the year? And for companies like us, where, for example, we might use seasonality, it's not necessarily just a linear view of, am I at 6 months of my goal or so on, but generally accounting for how much I think you would expect to have at this point. And then from sales ops, I think looking at things like pipeline, the distribution of performance against quota, and all of those things, I think are important metrics. And the better tools you have, obviously, to be able to track those, then the more accurate and timely prediction you can have.
The way I think about it in my mind, there's leading and lagging indicators, right? Sales comp is the expression of what ELT wants and the stage of growth of the company, right? When you're in a growth stage company, the focus is on gross new ARR, MRR, those types of values. Growth companies purposely have built out winners and losers, right? So there's a very different distribution when you think about whether to replan or not in a growth stage company versus a more mature company, which is more about protecting the base. And that's where you're looking at retention, TCV, those types of measures that are around, negotiating that contract with your account. So on the leading side, to me, there's pipeline, pipe gen, there's forecasted attainments, mean, median, and within pipeline, you have create and close pipeline, lock and pipe, renewal, pull forwards, on that side. On lagging, right, looking at attainment, a lot of companies, I would say, generally are looking at 50% of reps to be hitting. It's usually 40, 60 or whatever, H1, H2. How many of my reps are hitting? What's the mean versus median? Or are we, if it's a winners losers comp plan, you should have reps making 200 to 300%. You should have reps that are making 20, 30%, right? If it's a more stability growth, comp plan, you should have more folks in the middle. You shouldn't see as many outliers above and below, right? Also make sure you're looking at your role type. If you have a hunter-farmer structure at your company, Hunter is by design a spiky business. There are reps that are going to make 200, 300, 400%, reps that are going to make zero if they haven't landed a net new logo, versus expansion, which is more kind of farming. Those are the things that I'm looking at, right? Leading, lagging indicators, what do the win rates look like, deal size, attainments, primary versus secondary attainment. I always joke, you don't want to eat too much dessert. You want to make sure they're making it through their primary metrics and not secondary spiffs. And to me, those are the things you want to be looking at, from a comp perspective.